Hey guys, it's Bear. It's Sunday, January 11th, and this is my 9-week on T video. As far as things that have happened this week, it's not, again, as much about physical changes as this is just sort of chronicling how this is going for me. This week was kind of all over the place. I had some really good moments. I had some kind of crap moments. In general, I've just been feeling a little bit down this week, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. First and foremost, I've been feeling somewhat, PMS-y. It's a good question, when my periods are going to stop. If I'm going to get one this month, it's going to be in the next few days. Sorry for TMI. But even if I don't get an actual physical period, there's still going to be a monthly hormonal cycle, and I'm at that point in the cycle right about now where I'm just feeling slightly cranky for maybe no reason. And on top of that, I feel like the hormones are sort of battling within me, like still have that estrogen, release and cycle, and I feel like the T is sort of trying to control it, and obviously causing changes, and it's working, but then they're sort of battling out within my system. And I think this is just the point in the cycle where I'm feeling that more than maybe the rest of the month. Aside from that, I'm just a little bit down, or I've been down all week because I've got a couple of injuries going on. I hurt my shoulder, I hurt my right shoulder, I hurt my left wrist. And that's been keeping me out of training all week. And when you're used to training 6 days a week, and you have to kind of stay home and sit on your butt, all week, it's just a bit of a downer. It's not like a vacation, like, oh, I'm taking time off and getting some stuff done or whatever. You can't go in and work, and there's a certain amount of release that I get from that. I really am able to blow off steam when I go and train, and so I didn't get that this week. I went in yesterday and I trained for about 3 hours, and it was pretty good. A little bit of stiffness in my shoulder afterwards. Wrist seems to be holding up okay, so hopefully that's on its road to kind of clearing up and healing. But that just bummed me out all week, sitting home when I should be out, working out and getting social interaction is just a bummer. And then I think the biggest thing that was difficult as far as this week goes is it was just one of those times during transition where the uphill struggle is really apparent in front of you. Like, several times this week I would have some sort of interaction and I'd just be like, my God, I'm really just at the very beginning, and there's a long way to go, and it's not an easy road. I'm standing here asking people who have known me for, a year to a decade or more, to see me in a different way than they've seen me before, and those people, because they're seeing me on a regular basis, they're not necessarily seeing a lot of the changes because they happen so gradually that people they don't notice them. And so there have been a couple times this week where I'm talking to somebody, I'm interacting with somebody, and it just becomes apparent to me that they don't see a difference, and that they're struggling to address me in a different way. And a couple times it's caused me to just sort of stand there and feel like, man, I'm just a joke, and this is just, it's not real to other people, and it just feels weird, I had a conversation with a girl at work who's fairly new, and she said, yeah, at first when I was talking to you, I thought you were a guy, and then I talked to you for a few minutes and I could hear in your voice that you weren't, which again goes back to me feeling like, a little overwhelmed. again, I pass in public fairly well, but you know, it becomes obvious when somebody says that to you, that you're passing in public because they're not really looking deep enough. They're taking a glance, they're addressing you, and you're moving on with your life. And if I stand there and, you know, talk to somebody for more than a minute, you know, maybe they can see through it, maybe they can't, you know, I don't know. So yeah, that's a bit of a downer that's been getting to me this week, and I feel like that'll pass. You know, that's got to be normal, you know. It hasn't been all bad though. You know, this week had a couple of really cool moments, and again, I'm not worried about these down weeks or down moments. They're gonna happen. It's normal. But on the other hand, you know, there's also some really cool moments, and one of those milestones is that this week on Wednesday I called up an office that's pretty near me. They're maybe about 20 minutes away, and I scheduled my first top surgery consultation appointment with a fairly well-known surgeon. Gets pretty good results. I've taken a look at the results that are online, and they look pretty good. And he also does some of the other operations like the metoidioplasty that's down the road. So I'm pretty excited to have done that. Appointment's not until the first week of February, so, you know, but first step is making the appointment, so that's exciting. Another really cool thing that happened this week is that 2 or 3 people actually commented on my facial hair. 2 people specifically commented on my mustache, because along the sides I've always had a little bit of dark hair, and that dark hair is now getting longer, and so people can see it. So I had a couple people notice it. Couple people commented on, you know, being able to see the facial hair if light is hitting it the right way, which means that pretty much it's time to shave. I'm probably going to do that tonight or maybe tomorrow, because it's not growing in properly. Obviously it's patchy, and so if people are starting to be able to see it, they're starting to be able to see scruff, and that's not how I want to face the world. So it's good because people are noticing it. It's good because it's a milestone. I'll shave my face for the first time. It's a little bit sad because I have this newly developed ritual where I kind of check out the progress every night in the mirror, and so I'm going to be scraping it all off and going back to not being able to see anything. So that's a little sad, but also a little exciting. And then other things, the other big thing is that a lot of times people are commenting about my actual appearance. And people are noticing, you know, they're saying things like, you know, the shape of your face is changing a little bit, you know, your body shape is changing a little bit. I had somebody say that I look more boxy as far as my shape. And then a lot of people point out my arms, you know, and have been pointing out my arms recently. You know, give you a look at my tattoos here too. I always had pretty big arms, but I feel like they're filling out nicely now. I'm getting a little bit more of a muscle definition, so I don't think they're really getting bigger so much as filling out more properly, and people notice that, and that's nice. So yeah, it's been an up and down week. I think it's pretty normal. I'm not too bummed out by it. I'm just kind of like riding along with it, going along with it, and we'll see where all that continues to go. So yeah, that's it for this week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.